pleasure to introduce Linda Sarkis. Linda's speech title is High Impact Made Easier. Has anyone ever worried? Please raise your hand. Oh, that was honest in here. Have you ever felt they didn't accomplish enough in a day, a week, or a year? Why don't things go as planned? What's the matter with everybody? Please help me welcome Linda Sarkis, Assistant Division A Governor. Linda Sarkis.
Thank you.
Our time is 5 to 7 minutes, Jeannie.
Did anyone here ever get worried? Please raise your hand. Amanda, you're not raising. Oh,
Right.
We've all worried. I worry. I'm trying to reduce worry as a leader to be more effective. And as several people have mentioned today, Toastmasters says where leaders are made. So I want to talk about high-impact decisions today. How can we make high-impact decisions? How to do the most important things first? How can we eliminate worrying about the other things while we're trying to get things done? I'm not the authority on this, but Dale Carnegie is. And I don't intend to put this book down during my speech. In fact, I carry this book everywhere with me now, and I've carried it everywhere with me for about 3 weeks because that's the amount of time they say it takes to form a new habit. Now, Dale Carnegie's most famous book is How to Win Friends and Influence People. This is the most impactful book in my life, and I've had this book for 10 years and only read it once until recently. So just a few tips for you from this book. Dale Carnegie said there's a lot to do with attitude. Now, we know that. Even famous people who have made a lot of money weren't really happy and sometimes weren't really healthy until they changed their ways. So John D. Rockefeller made a lot of high-impact decisions, but also worried about keeping the money that he made until he looked 20 years older and he went to the doctor and the doctor said, either you change your ways or you will die very soon. So this doctor gave him 3 suggestions having to do with relaxing, learn to play golf, and when they told John D. Rockefeller some very bad news financially a couple of years later related to a merger, he said, John, I hope this won't affect your ability to have a good day. He said, I'm having a good day. It was just an attitude change, and there are a number of stories in this book about people, famous and otherwise, in really bad times, who were almost forced to change their way of thinking. And when they did, their lives changed. Dale Carnegie talks about living in day-type compartments. How often do we hear, do you know what that person said to me last week? Do you know what happened when I volunteered last week? Now, we can either hold on to those things, or we can live in day-type compartments. And a day-type compartment looks like this. What is the most important thing that I need to do today? We should learn from the past. That's a very good thing. We should have a plan for the future. That's a very good thing. But what's the most important thing that I need to do today? And then do it. There are employment studies that say companies have looked far and wide for people who know how to think. Does everybody here know how to think? Raise your hands. Okay, good. People who know how to think and people who also know how to do the most important things first, far and wide, to try to find people like that. Does anyone here want to be a person like that? If you're not raising your hand, you already are, so probably you're more farther along. I've spoken about women in volunteer leadership. And I think it's especially hard sometimes for women in volunteer leadership for nonprofits to separate some of those things, because we, by nature, are described as the caregivers, as the fixers, as the people who want to make things right. And the men are often the results-oriented person, and they want to go the quickest way from A to Z. Now, I have moved very much so over to the men's side, the results-oriented person, but I'm also a woman, and I think that's a great balance. But let me describe to you one example of day-type compartments that happened this week. I was on my way to work, and I had to stop at the store to buy a big whiteboard type board that I was going to use in a speech that day. So I stopped at the store, I picked it up on the way to work, and I passed a woman pushing a cart. And my mind half-registered homeless person. But I didn't want to be late for work, and I needed my whiteboard, and I bought it, and I went to work. As I was checking out from the store, I said, "Was that a homeless woman?" And the cashier said, "Well, yes, I think so." And my interpretation of that was, well, I see a lot of homeless people. So as a woman and a human, I was touched by that, and I realized I just passed a homeless person and did nothing. I cried all the way to work, which is about 5 minutes away. And then I went to work, I did my job, I gave my speech, which I believe was very inspirational and can help change the world in general. But that's a day-type compartment, that's an I am a leader, I know I'm making a difference, I know I didn't acknowledge that woman, maybe there's something that I could have done, I don't know, but I'm moving past that point. That's high impact, that's a high impact decision. So what's the most important thing that I do now? I can't be late for work, I have to give my speech. The woman, I can't worry about that right now. And that may sound even cruel. It's not cruel. Because if I don't do what I'm doing, I'm probably increasing the chance that a number of people would be impacted on that way, because we are leaders where leaders are made. And as a man or a woman, the high impact decisions and the how to not worry is in this book. How to work smarter is in this book. Day-type compartments is in this book. And also Dale Carnegie said there are always 3 speeches: the one you practiced, the one you gave, the one you wished you gave. So if anyone doubts that I'm not flying up here, don't doubt it, because I will take Dale Carnegie's word over anyone else. Toastmasters.